Good morning, everyone. It's me, Rory Paddock, for picks from the paddock.co.uk. I'm coming to you live. It's 9:45. It's Tuesday. And oh, Lord, if you saw yesterday's selections, seconds all over the show. It was an absolute nightmare. Anyway, I'm hoping that seconds with these selections aren't going to be too bad a result. 4 horses, 4 different meetings, all to be put in an each way lucky 15. Those are my 4 anyway for this afternoon. It's Tuesday, the 21st of March. So without further ado, let's get stuck into today's action with the first of my quartet of selections, which comes in the 205 at Market Raisin. You can see on the right hand side, Film d'Action is the one I'm going to go with. It's Anthony Honeyball trained, Aidan Coleman ridden, owned by obviously the infamous green and gold silks of J.P. McManus. Looking through the form, obviously it was 8th on debut in a National Hunt flat race. Hard these, screams, oh my God, absolute superstar. But the horse went off as a really short-priced favourite that day. Clearly, connections held it in high regard. With that in mind, I'm going to give it another chance. This race, in terms of a hurdle debut, doesn't exactly look ridiculously packed. Obviously, you've got your 2 that are vying for favouritism in the form of Tin 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 and Jupiter Allen. Of the 2, I'd probably be more inclined to go with Virgil O'Brien's horse. Obviously, you've got a few that are making their debut, the likes of Bella Savannah, Moiraya, Jumbo Vesta Verte, and Chase Me Forever. All have obviously massive question marks, but equally massive chances of potentially being something a little bit special. Whether we'll see that in this race, I'm not so sure. Of the sort of newcomers, I think perhaps Harry Derham's Bella Savannah could be the one, but nevertheless, I'm going to stick with the one with the powerhouse connections, and I'm hoping that it can show the promise and the confidence that Connections had on its National Hunt flat debut. It can put that way behind, and if it shows some of its earlier sort of, I guess, with it being a talking horse and the sort of the potential that Connections thought it had, if you can show that today in what looks a relatively modest hurdle race, then Film d'Action as an each way bet. There's 8 runners, so you're getting the first 3 home. Current best odds 7-1. That's going to be where I'm hoping we kickstart Tuesday on a solid note. We're going to go from there, and we're going to head now, believe it or not, over the water, but not to Ireland. We're going to head south. We're going to go over the channel, and there's the 3:10 at Chantilly. It's a 5.5 furlong listed race for 3-year-olds. So let me bring up the runners and the riders, and we'll see where I'm going. There, the runners and the riders. You can see the short price 11-10 favourite is the Michael Barcelona ridden, George Bowie trained Proverb. He's looking to make it 4 wins on the spin. Now gone into 5-6. Odds on favourite, and rightly so. Obviously, Highclere owned, out of Harry Angel. Look, has the form in the book, has the class, and is probably the one to beat. But, like I said, I'm going with an each way lucky 15. So my each way selection here in the 3:10 at Chantilly is going to be Lady Hamana. Out of the yard of Carl Burke, I actually absolutely love Carl Burke when it comes to sprinting types. The horse itself finished 4th last time out, has form already here in France, absolutely loves this soft ground, finished 4th in another listed race, and actually, I would argue, despite the favourite, that was probably a more competitive and classier race. Now, obviously, it's been off the track for close to 150 days, but if she can overcome that, then I think she has a really decent chance. Carl Burke won't be sending the horse over here for a holiday. Currently 12-1, 9 runners. You're getting the first 3 for places. And I think Lady Hermana could be the one to go well at a decent price. And has a decent draw as well in stall 4. Lady Hermana to do far better than her current 12-1 price might suggest. Those are my first 2. Now, where on earth are my other ones going to be from? Well, you can see along the bottom, we've got action from Shanty, Clonmel, Market Raisin, and Wetherby. Well, that just means that we've got to make that trip to Ireland and go all the way over to Clonmel. It comes just 30 minutes after that race over in France. It's the 340, and it's a very competitive looking 2-mile handicap hurdle. 15 runners are set to go to post. Current ground over at Clonmel is heavy, so let's bring up the runners and riders. You can see it there. We'll put the horses in odds order. Got the 5-2 favourite, Sean Glory. Course and distance winner, deserves to be the favourite. Royal Rhythm for quite decent connections at 6-1. Kate I'll Know, 13-2 for the 10-year-old. Do Whatever, who makes their handicap debut. I think that's probably the potential dark horse. A bit of a cliche thing to say, but has shown nothing in 3-1 runs so far. But it's one of those where you wouldn't be shocked to see a horse like that all of a sudden turn things around and produce some masterful performance now that they're in handicap company. But the one I'm going to go for is currently priced at around 12-1. You can see it on screen there. And it is Tin Garen Express. Tin Garen Express there is my each way selection. The horse has been really inconsistent. Look, you don't know what sort of horse you're going to get. Looking through the form figures, finished 8th of 10 last time out. Prior to that, 4th of 14, 9th of 16 before that. But if we look purely at course and distance form, yes, the horse is an 11 race maiden, but let's have a look at Clonmel. And the last time it raced over this trip on heavy ground at Clonmel, it finished 4th of 14. That was off a mark of 89. Now off a mark of 85. Niall Moore takes another £7 off its back, and I think it's a respectable shout in what looks a really open contest. And 12-1 for a horse that loves it here at Clonmel seems the decent way to go. Phil Fenton, very capable trainer, especially at this sort of level. So Tin Garen Express to maybe, just maybe, shake off their maiden tag at what will be the 12th time of asking. Remember, if you're watching, to put your comments, best bet, down below. Now, hopefully, I may have saved the best till last. And we're going to go now to, I think, if I can find the race, it is the 4:35 at Wetherby. It's the penultimate race on the card there. 9 runners. It's a 3-mile handicap hurdle. It's a class 5 event. And again, this is another race that looks super, super open. We've got current joint favourites at 5-2. Heritier de Savola and Great Raffles for Phil Kirby and Mickey Hammond. But it's actually bottom weight Storm Force 1 for Peter Niven that I'm going to go with. You can see there. Current best price is 18-1. And I think that's ludicrous. Now, don't get me wrong. Just like with my last selection, I've ended up going with another horse that's yet to shake off their maiden tag. It's raced 22 times, so I can hardly profess to this one being prolific. But again, if we purely look at the horse's course form, then you have to give it some serious, serious chance. Now, Wetherby alone, over 3 miles, it's claimed 2 third-place finishes and a second-place finish from 4 course and distance starts. Now, obviously, it clearly likes it here. All of those placed efforts came with much more weight, off a higher mark. Danny McMenamin is a very talented jockey, Peter Niven knows how to place his horses, and if you can produce another place, 18 to 1 looks absolutely fantastic. I'm happy to take a quarter of 18, which ends up being what, 4.5 to 1 for the place. Absolutely fine by me. We don't need it to storm home into first place. We will take a place at all those odds across all 4 selections. I think we'll end up with a nice tidy sum if they all deliver. So with that in mind, if you haven't seen already, what are my 4 selections for today? Well, my 4 selections for today across 4 different meetings are as follows. A market raising in the 205, Film d'Action. The 310 at Shanty, we've gone Lady Hamana. Tingaran Express to go well in the 340 at Clonmel. And Storm Force 1 to hopefully produce another course and distance place at massive odds in the 435. Those are my 4 selections. As always, any likes, comments, shares. Hopefully, the Seconditis doesn't continue, but if it does, we'll take all 4 of them to place and we'll be absolutely rolling in it on a nice little Tuesday afternoon. But remember, all your support is really, really, really what we need. But if you do follow us, fingers crossed and touch wood. Thanks again for supporting us here at pictureinthepaddock.co.uk. You support means a lot, and hopefully today's another day that we bash the bookies.